Hey everyone, this is Light and welcome to my final tier list video for the season. And quite a few things have changed, so I'm gonna go over the tiers real quick. So, I have very high value on a unit's pickability. Like a unit that's picked almost every game will be way higher ranked than a unit that's picked 1 out of like 20, even though they're pretty good. So yeah, and what's different from other videos is that I've actually created 2 S plus tiers. So this is the S plus tier when Harsetti is pre-banned versus when Harsetti is available. And I separated this because like when Harsetti is available, these speed units go like way down in priority, as in like you can't really early pick them because of like the nature of Harsetti making them less value. So yeah, S plus units are the ones you want to have highest priority in your draft. Typically you want to first pick one of them, and they are in order from like strongest to weakest. This S plus tier is the only one that's in order of strongest to weakest. So like Luna is the strongest, and then it's Lua, Holly, Peyra, and then if for some reason none of them are available, you can pick Flan. And same for this, DDR is definitely the best first pick. There are some deviants on the ladder who try to ignore DDR, but their win counts are very sketchy. And yeah, I'll explain why DDR is strong later. So yeah, it's DDR, Illinab, and then MO Luna in terms of priority. And then S tier are the units that you want to pick alongside the S plus tier in like your 1 to 3 pick. So yeah, and then A tier will be like the situational picks that you will pick like towards the end of your draft to counter pick some things. And then like A minus is like the same thing, they're just very uncommon. And I don't bother ranking cleave units because if cleave is good, then the units are good. And cleave is absurdly strong right now. So yeah, alright, to be honest, we could move Zio up here, but if you play Zio, you're definitely going extremely aggressive to the point of cleaving. So yeah, let's get into it. So major changes, of course we have the new tier. So if you play RTA, you'll know that Harsetti is pre-banned in at least half the games. And every time she's pre-banned, the game is wildly different from when she's not. So yeah, Emma Luna is of course the strongest out of all of these. Like Emma Luna, so then like openers are really broken, but openers also put each other in check. Like Emma Luna counters every other opener. Like Lua can't provoke her, Polly can't push her back, Peyra can't do anything to her, and then like Luna is just gonna Luna's just gonna unbuffable all of them. And like a lot of people are playing slow Luna. People are playing like really slow tanky Luna to go after these openers, and then she's like just slams S3 and then they're useless. So yeah. And then we have Emo Lua, definitely the second strongest unit in the game. She's pretty she's pretty crazy. She provoke locks people really hard, and she kind of abuses the fact that the cleanser options in the game are really bad right now. They all have counterplay, and Emo Lua Soulburn might be the second strongest Soulburn in the game next to Luna. And also, she's really good for anti-cleave, especially with like MO Fiend, because you know Team CR boost your team, and then just control them to death with like provoke locks. It's really toxic. Of course, MO Polly is still really strong. She's MO Polly, huge tempo. She's really good with Tori too. Her ER build is really good against MO Lua, but you know it doesn't do anything against the Soulburn. MO Polly's still really strong. And then MO Peyra. If none of the other options are available, there's MO Peyra. She is a pretty finicky unit. Because like a lot of people, Uberia's Tooth is actually pretty decent on her, but at the same time, if you don't run Sweet Miracle, you kind of get screwed over by Luas that are faster than you, which is why like I can't like rate her higher than Lua, and I can't rate her higher than Emerald Polly because Emerald Polly actually has more tempo than her. Like this matchup is very finicky for Pera unless unless your Pera is like 320 speed, like it's way faster than these two. Like Emerald Pera has a very disadvantaged matchup against these two. Unless your Pera is insanely fast and goes first. So yeah, for that reason I'm gonna rank Pera like below these ones. And Flan is still the best aggressive damage dealer next to Tori. Cause like she anchors your team with a 100% evasion unit that's hard to kill. That also does insane amounts of damage and bridges herself and like CR boosts her team. Like she's just really strong in aggressive play. So yeah, Flan very strong still. However, I do knock her out of S plus tier when Harsetti is available because she's just too weak to Solitaria in like slow play. And also if you have defense buff and vigor, or sorry, wall buff from Ilina, like it's so easy to tank Flan. And she's also weak to Blue Crow. So yeah, Flan S plus tier when Harsetti is pre-banned, but not when Harsetti is available. And then DDR, so the way DDR works this season is that he forces the other person to either resist all his debuffs in one way or another, or pick Schneel, and people don't want to pick Schneel anymore. Because the issue with picking Schneel is that Tori will run you down. DDR forces the other person to answer him, and if they don't, it gets really sketchy. For example, the great thing about DDR is that if you first pick DDR, the other person is usually going to go Schneel, and then you get to put your mitigation on your third pick, which is ideal. Mitigation on 3 is the safest thing ever. While the other person has Schneel on 3, and then your Tori will just beat him up. Your DDR very strong because he lets you play the mitigation, and he forces your opponent to answer him. And Ilinav is Ilinav. She makes you very tanky. She's very safe. Having an extra cleanse is always good. She's the only like damage dealer that you can pick early without worrying too much about counter picks, honestly. So yeah, that's pretty good. And then we have Emma Luna. Emma Luna is still very annoying in Harsetti games because like she might be too tanky. She could get really good tuning if you're stuck picking Harsetti. Although she is a bit easier to deal with when the game is slowed down. Like she can be a bit weak to DDR. She can be pretty weak to Ilinav. So yeah, she's not as good in slow games, but she's still a complete menace. Yeah. And then let's see, we moved Flan down. Because in slow play, it's really easy to deal with her. Like Blue Crow's a menace to her. Defense buff is a menace. Ilinav is a menace. She just doesn't do enough damage in slow play. And dear God, if someone picks Solitaria into you, you're gonna have the worst game of your life. So yeah, for that reason, I don't think Flan is that much of a priority pick in slow play anymore. I even thought of moving her down here, but I feel like that'd be a little injustice because even though Flan is like Flan can be dealt with, she still can be a menace. Like for example, what if you have Flan and DDR, and then like the other person goes like Schneel, and then you just run them down with like your CR push into like your team killing people. But yeah, again, Flan really shines if you're being aggressive. I don't think she's like a neutral damage dealer in like slow play anymore. Because like even if Harsetti is available, you have to be aggressive with her to make her work. So yeah, yeah, she's definitely lower. Tori, I despise Tori. I hate inconsistent units, but like the thing is, like, just because Tori can be inconsistent doesn't mean she's bad. Like Green Landy during her meta, like yeah, if you don't guiding light you lose, but that doesn't make her bad. Like if you don't guiding light you lose, but that didn't make her bad. It didn't stop people from picking her. Like Tori is one of a kind. She does insane amounts of single target damage. She's immune to debuffs basically. Like she's just an engine. She does so much, and she has huge synergy with Aros. And speaking of Aros, he is probably the strongest Aureus Knight right now. Because he has so much synergy with super carries like Tori. I wouldn't say the strongest, but he's a contender for the strongest. Yeah, he has super synergy with the hyper carries and whatnot, and yeah, it's basically he's carried by Tori, but also Tori carried Tori. You can say Tori's like carried by him. Like these are a pair, but he's also very strong with like he's very strong with Euphine or Euphine. I mean, he's very strong with Candy if you pick her later. He's also extremely strong with oh sorry, I forgot about Landy. He's also extremely strong with Landy, who is quite the viable pick right now because people spam a lot of single targets, but also they spam a lot of buffers. So Green Landy is actually pretty strong right now. And Dien's actually one of the better units you can pick right now. The really good thing about Dien is that anti-crit is really strong. She basically makes Tori do no damage. So like, it's like if someone early picks Tori and you slam Dien, like that's so bad for them already. And like the good thing about Dien is that she is a cleanser with 200 some ER that you can pick early. Like she's different from Ilinav in the sense that Ilinav's not actually a cleanser. Ilinav is a very unreliable cleanser because you know typically don't build ER on this. But Dien will have ER, so she won't be weak to like a random debuffer slam. So that's really good to have a cleanser. And yeah, of course she has like super synergy with Ross, like attack and giving attack buff to like your super carries, and she gives Tori a lot of buffs to proc your cascade easier. But yeah, Tien's actually very strong right now. But she stops like a lot of meta units from doing damage. So yeah. And let's see, anything else that moved? Blue Crow. I'll move Blue Crow up to S because he's actually pretty strong. He's pretty strong as like an alternative to Aros. Like he has 25 Aureas to protect Tori. He has almost as much mitigation as Albedo. If you have protection set and Adamant Shield, their mitigation is very comparable. And this unit can deal with pesky bruisers like Fireflan and any evasion unit and units like Huayang. Like he's really good at dealing with units that have that have like less than 20k HP basically. Because like, he'll be able to execute them with his S3 pretty easily. And he's also a blue unit, so he's a wall against Tori. Very popular draft is like Blue Crow and Emo Shoe. Like the Emo Shoe hides behind the Blue Crow and it's actually a huge pain. Yeah, Blue Crow is definitely a thing. LRK is still good in Hard City. I actually had him in the 3-5 pick, but I moved him back up because LRK is still really good. Especially with Dien to like cycle her cooldowns. And, like he's the best mitigation against Arceti too. So LRK is still definitely a decent unit. Yeah, I moved him back to 1-3 because like he's very prevalent in Hard City games. And let's see, anything else that we moved? Wait, Ilinav shouldn't be here. Oh wait, Ilinav doesn't have to be here. But anyway, yeah, so we added Landy here, and yeah, I think that's basically it. Yeah, I don't think anything else has to change, to be honest. So yeah, this Tierlist update wasn't that long, to be honest. I actually think Fireflame is a pretty decent debuffer. So right now, there's a lot of ER cheesers. If you play RTA, there are so many ER players that you have to you have to build like effectiveness units to deal with it. And like it's like okay, like Pyreflayon, F10 and Knockwall, like you want these units to be like 250 effectiveness because there are like a whole bunch of ER players on the ladder that you want to just debuff and ER check them because like that's the best way to deal with them. Oh yeah, Kron is also a really good pick against Tori, but only as like a late pick, of course. And pretty sure I moved AOL. Love AOL is actually really strong right now because like people will go like LRK, Illinab and stuff, but AOL is the natural counter to it. And like even better if AOL can tag DN. Like this is actually a very strong debuffer right now. And I actually moved this Tina up too because like this Tina is really strong in City games, and so is Rylet. Rylet plus Payra. Rylet plus Payra plus like Aros is like an insane engine, and like it just murders things. So yeah, yeah, I think that's about it now. But yeah, thank you for watching and good luck with your climb.